radio station I'm trying to plug about. I think it's called it Sun Radio, your gallery gig.
Yeah, good.
Still a lot of paying out. Is that what I was looking for? I was looking for it.
Crowd, they trickle in.
This is cool. Well, how do y'all normally start these?
We just
started picking
doing
and
it.
Okay.
On one.
I'm ready.
Okay. I don't hardly ever do these solo deals, but I love doing them. And so, if anybody has I don't know, question or ask about the writing process or
request.
for requests, yes, of course I'll take requests. It's so wild when somebody requests a song of mine, and I don't know it anymore. How do you not know that song?
You're ruled out.
I don't know, but now you've made me feel stupid. I'll do a brand new song. My wife, Brandy, and I write a whole lot with my wife, Brandy. She's an extraordinarily gifted songwriter. Her grandparents were songwriters, and they wrote the family's first #1 hit in 1958 for Frankie Lane, a song called The Call of the Wild. Her dad wrote Baby Your Baby for George Strait and Colorado Kool-Aid for Johnny Paycheck. Her uncle wrote The Whiskey Ain't Working Anymore for Travis Tritt, and her great uncle engineered, man, back to Sun Records, it's crazy, engineered Great Balls of Fire for Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
No, John and Caroline were talking, I never talk about Sun Records, it's like the fourth time it came up. It's insane. Anyway, so, and Brandy's also a very successful music publisher. I've written for songs for the most successful publishing companies in the world, Warner Chappell and Rondor and Universal and Almo Irving. But when I started writing for her publishing company, because when Warner Brothers fired me, well, I mean, they say they didn't pick my option up, but they're paying you one day and not the next. Your ass got fired, you know. So when they fired me, we didn't know what we were going to do, and I said, well, why don't you be my publisher? And she said, well, I've never been a publisher. I said, but you raised on songs. And she goes, well, what if I don't get you any cuts? And I go, well, I'm not getting any cuts now. You know? But since I've written for her publishing company the past 15 years, I've had all my success as a writer. All the platinum records I've gotten have been writing for her. So anyway, why did we hire Brandy for this gig? You get her husband. But Brandy and I just wrote this a couple weeks ago with Floyd Domino, amazing multi-Grammy winning piano player, and it's called Anything But Love. My heart tried its very best to capture love, never guessed the closest it would ever get was not at all. So I crossed love off my list, eager to explore what else there is, and bravely tossed my cap over the wall. I'll take Sherman in Atlanta, Christmas without Santa, or any portion of despair thereof. Conversely, give me dreams and riches, a fountain full of wishes. I'll take anything but love. Some prefer the carousel, spinning round, standing still, all the while never gaining any ground. For others it's the moving train, enchanted by new terrain. Either way it's all the same, for I have found I'll take Sherman in Atlanta, Christmas without Santa, or any portion of despair thereof. Conversely, give me dreams and riches, a fountain full of wishes. I'll take anything but love. Give me Sherman in Atlanta, Christmas without Santa, or any portion of despair thereof. Give me all the dreams and riches, a fountain full of wishes. I'll take anything but exactly the reaction I want that chord progression to get.
It's pretty upside down on the mentality. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's so funny. It's like Brandy came home from the pool and she sang me this melody, and she goes, "Well, let's play it. What do you think that would be?" And I went to my guitar, and it was just like 4 seconds, like, fuck if I know. Let's call Floyd. He'll know. So we went over to Floyd's, and it's like, oh my gosh, Brandy, you're so smart. Listen to all this, you know. And he knew all the jazz movements, and I just started writing jazz back, maybe, I don't know. For years, I've always thought somebody should do an all original, like Great American Songbook type project. Like when I was 19 and when Harry Met Sally came out, I said, okay, somebody's going to do the Harry Connick thing, but all original songs, and it's going to be great. But I was 19 and I didn't have the chops as a writer to try to do any of that. But I always had the back of my mind, and when I broke my leg last fall, literally, I thought, okay, I'm gonna try to do that. And Brandy said, why don't you just go ahead and start your crooner project? And so because I was laid up on the couch, and I'm not really a sit down on the couch kind of guy, and so I would I'd figure out these chords on the keyboard. I go, okay, that finger here and that finger there, and I'd go like that. So then I would Google what those notes were to figure out what the chord was, and I go, wow, E flat major 7th. I don't know that one. But also I found like I'd have all these my fingers in these crazy configurations, and I would Google what it was, and it would be a G. You know, I know G. I didn't know. Just depressing. But exactly. So I'll do one of those. I'll do one of those tunes. One of those. Have to Google the chord progression songs. It's called Right About Now. Right about now, she'll be turning out the lights. Right about now, she'll be treating her new love right. I take the blame. No, I can't change the when, why, and how. Time and again, I was wrong about then, and she was right about now. Right about now. Thinking about all I didn't say. Right about now, I wonder if she wishes there was a way we could go back and change all that. When, why, and how. Time and again, I was wrong about then, and she was right about now. It's the kind of regret a heart won't forget. It's a dream that hangs around. Time and again, I was wrong about then, and she was right about time and again. I was wrong about then, and she right about now. See, it's like we're having this nice conversation about songs, and then y'all clap, and it makes me feel weird. But please continue to clap. You know, it's like that. Oh man, I can't remember his name. Oh, one of the greatest actors of all time, Laurence Olivier. He said in his book, and they said, why did you become an actor? And he said, look at me, look at me, look at me. There you go. That about sums it up.
I feel like we're lazy clappers. You play a song for like 3 minutes and we clap for like 15
I
seconds.
know. I was thinking the same thing.
It's a whole new dimension.
All right.
So I'm not going to play for about 3 minutes. We'll see how y'all like the awkward silence. What should I play now? I'll do. This is one of the first songs I ever wrote that somebody else recorded, and that's all I've ever wanted to really. Like when I was a kid, for some weird reason, I wanted to be a songwriter. I saw nobody in my family wrote, or I didn't know anything about it, but my heroes were like songwriters. It's weird. It's like everybody on my street wanted to be Roger Staubach, and I wanted to be Sonny Throckmorton. You know, it made no sense, but it's like, oh, okay. So this song, I wrote this tune. I reckon I was 22 or 3. My first friend was going through, this was the first friend of mine I ever knew was going through a divorce, and he was like 24, and I didn't like that he and his wife were getting divorced, but they got married so young, just like I did, so what else was going to happen? So I wrote this tune, and right away it was real good, and I loved the way I did it. I sang the shit out of it. I was so excited about it. And then my buddy Derek O'Brien heard it, and he played it for Tony Price. And he recorded it on Tony, and it was the first time I'd ever had a song that I had written be done, oh my God, chills so much better than I could have imagined. I just went, oh my God, that song's that good? I'm brilliant. It opened up my heart and my eyes and my soul to just not limit the song to just how I hear it, but that if it's great, it's great. And Tony's version of it has been in, I don't know, this song's wound up, it's been recorded by like 30 other people. It's been in Tony's version of it. It's been in 2 different movies, and it's just, it's stunning. It's called Just to Hear Your Voice, but I think I'm the only person that's ever called it that. Everybody else calls it I Call You on the Phone. I know. And Randy goes, you should just re-copyright it as I Call You on the Phone and admit you named it wrong. No, damn it to hell, it's called Just to Hear Your Voice. Anyway, so here's...
Change the line and call it Call You.
Anything. Alright, so I'll do this. And I know y'all know Tony's version of it. It's humbling to this day. I call you on the phone every night about this time. I've been feeling so alone. I hope that you don't mind. Don't you know you're leaving has left me with no choice but to call you on the phone just to hear your voice. I don't see how you could know the way I'm missing you. I'm not sure I can let go, but believe me, I'm trying to. I call you on the phone every night about this time. I've been feeling so alone. I hope that you don't mind. Don't you know your leaving has left me with no choice but to call you on the phone just to hear your voice. I'm not over you enough to roll my dreams away. The problem is I love you a little more each day. I call you on the phone every night about this time. I've been feeling just to hear your voice. That's a dang song. Yes, it is a great song. Man, I wish I could remember what I ate when I wrote that. All right.
All right. Yes.
Yes, what? What? What did someone say?
Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me.
That's right. That's right. This stuff, this is horrible. But I can't say that. I'm gonna say that later. Shane, I've self-edited. Brandy said, don't say anything stupid. She's not here. She's not here. That'll teach her not to come to the gig.
She might be watching you.
I know she is. I know she is. Exactly. I'll do another one of the new songs. This is another song that Brandy and I wrote, and I do this with my new jazz crooner outfit, The Dangerous Few. We play every Thursday at the gallery.
Dangerous Few, woman.
The Dangerous Few.
That's what we like to hear.
Well, how we got that name, the president was on television, and you know, I'm not getting political, but you know, he's a politician, you know. So he said, I don't want to take guns out of the hands of the American people. I want to keep them out of the hands of the dangerous few.
That's
Brandy and I
right.
both turned to each other. That's a great fucking band name. He doesn't know this, but his calling should be in A&R, you know. So it's like, the dangerous few. So we knew we needed some artwork for the dangerous few, and Brandy had found there's this. We love the stuff on the Cartoon Network that goes in between shows.
Yeah.
Right. And we're like,
Yeah.
man, who's that guy? And so Brandy went online and she found this artist. We just so happened to have some T-shirts, but not to hawk the shirts. I want to show you this artist. And this guy was incredible. And so Brandy went, oh, my husband, he did Monte, Warden, Wagner, set it up. No, it's so cool. And of course the guy said, you know what? I don't do artwork for bands and stuff. But man, that's so cool. And Brandy said, because you know, she's a music publisher, so she hears no for a living, you know. So she said, well, let me send you some music. And so she sent him a couple things, and he got right back, and he said, I got to do this.
Right on.
So, and I just would have said, taking no for an answer. Oh, sorry, sir. And she goes, oh, I'm so happy. She said, and this guy talks like a beatnik. Seriously, he does. And so Brandy, when she goes, you've just made me a smitten kitten. And I went, oh, that's a great little line there. So we took that from the thing, and she and I wrote this song called Here Kitty Kitty. You'll hear the smitten kitten. So anyway, this is something the Dangerous Few do, based off the T-shirt. Oh, I didn't say the guy's name. His name's Derek Yanniger, and he's a brilliant artist. And you've seen his art a lot of places, and so we're so blessed to have him done our artwork. Come out and play. You know it's in your nature to misbehave. Yeah, kitty, kitty, swish that tail. Oh, the pretty little feline Jezebel. Smitten kitten, perfume vixen. You're the very definition what a tomcat wants. Come see what's new. You know the curiosity's killing you. Yeah, kitty, kitty, meet me halfway. It sure be a pity if you went astray. Be my spitting kitten, perfume vixen. Your romantic definition would have timed that wrong. Be my spitting kitten, perfume vixen. Your romantic definition would have timed that wrong. Be my spitting kitten, perfume vixen. Your romantic definition would have timed that wrong. The baby definition would have timed that wrong. Hey kitty kitty, hey kitty kitty, hey kitty kitty, hey kitty kitty.
Good thing y'all weren't sitting around drinking. You might have become the deplorables.
Plenty deplorable.
1% deplorable.
That's
That
right.
needs to be defined.
My little boy said, "Gee, Daddy, I didn't think you liked cats." I'm sure that song's about cats.
Maybe it's great, yeah.
I know, exactly. Look at that. What to play now? Hey, I have something real cool. All right, let's all in on a secret. It's not a secret, but like I can't put it on Facebook or I can't tweet it or anything like that. But today, we heard about it yesterday, but we got the confirmation today that this song of mine that I'm fixing to play for y'all, I wrote it with my buddy Bruce Robinson, and George Strait recorded it and took it to #1, and it's been a million seller for George. But on November 18th, George Strait has his second only in his career box set coming out, and this song is on the box set.
Yeah!
Wow, so that's like that means I get to do this at least for another 3 years. That little box set. But no, thank you. This is a big old deal. I mean, it's like being on a George Strait album is incredible, and it's been on a greatest hits thing. But being on the thing about his box sets, we found out is their Universal always keeps them in print. So this, as long as they make records, CDs or whatever, it'll be here. So anyway, I wrote this tune with my buddy Bruce Robinson, and I was going through a very, this is 20 years ago, very sudden divorce. It was sudden for me. My wife and her boyfriend had been cooking it up for a while, but I didn't know anything about it. And I was a mess. And so Bruce literally said to me, he said, come over here and let's write about this, because if you're going to be this miserable,
That's
the least we could do is make this shit rhyme. So anyway, and it was really cool. Virtually every dream I had about being a songwriter, this song has made come true. It's biggest star in country music. I'm the world's biggest George Strait fan. I got to take my dad and two of my sons to see George at the Irwin Center, and he did this song. It's just cool. Just very, very cool. So, this one called Desperate. Every night it's the same. I hear you calling my name. You're lying next to me. I give in to your charms. You disappear in my arms. I realize it's just a dream, but desperately I long to feel your touch. You left me all alone in love. I shake the sleep from my head, try to crawl out of bed. Today is just another day. I make the coffee for one, I turn the radio on, pretend that everything's okay, but desperately I long to feel your touch. You left me all alone in love. I got no reason to smile, it's gonna take me a while. I still love you desperately. I watch the sun going down, there ain't nobody around. I feel a night in the breeze. I keep on telling myself, don't need nobody else, and I can do as I please. But desperately I long to feel your touch. You left me all alone in love. Now I'm desperately I long to feel your touch. You left me all alone in love. Every night it's the same. I hear you calling my name. I still love you desperately. I still love you. I still want you. I still love you desperately. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't think I've done a Wagoneers song yet. I'll do a Wagoneers song. I'll also have this group, the Wagoneers, that we got together when I was 19. And we were one of the first major label band. You'd call it Americana now. Back then they didn't know what to call it. They just went, you guys are comedy country. That's what they called us. Why are you so young and play country music? Nobody does that. But anyway, I have Wagoneers CDs here, but I'll do this song. This was the title track to our debut record. We were signed to A&M Records from the first South by Southwest.
Right on.
Yeah, no, I don't say that very much, but yeah, the first one. And it was so cool. I was 19 and I got such a great little glimpse into show business because we played this showcase at the Hole in the Wall. And like I said, it was the first South by Southwest, so it wasn't a big music conference. Nobody even knew if there'd be a second one, right? And so, excuse me. So we played our show, we were playing our show, and I look out in the audience, and John Fogerty was there from Creedence. And it was like, wow, and I just looked right at him, and he looked right at me, and it gave me 2 thumbs up, and it was so cool. Wow. And then he stayed, we were standing on the side of the stage, and he was rocking and bobbing his head, and then like we ended like about the 3rd or 4th song he'd stayed for, and he said, "You boys are great," and he walked out. We're like, "Wow, John Fogerty, that's so cool. And then, like, you know, we played our set, and you know, I was, like I said, I was 19. The other guys were 25. We didn't know anything about that. And then, like 2 weeks later, there was this overview of South by Southwest in Rolling Stone magazine, and it said one of the highlights of the conference was Texas newcomers, the Wagoneers, had John Fogerty come up and jam with them. And I was like, wow, that would have been so cool if that had happened. And to this day, 30 years later, I've never met John Fogerty.
I believe it. I saw that. I believe it.
And it was just like, but that got every label calling us. And it's just like, okay, well, you know, like, that didn't happen. And like our manager went, she kind of talked like the Penguin from Batman. She went, don't say that, honey. Never say that happened. You don't have to say it happened, but certainly don't say it didn't happen. You know, so basically the start of my career was just built on this bullshit. You know? Okay. But,
Right.
I know, it's so great. It's like, all right. But anyway.
You have a promoter
Yeah, exactly. You know?
and
And it's like the what is that line from Liberty Valance when the truth meets the legend, print the legend. You know, so there you go.
All writers embellish.
Right.
What's the best rust band in Austin, Texas?
Say that again.
That would be the Wagoneers.
Yeah, right, exactly. So anyway, but this tune, actually, it was when I was 18 and I went up to Nashville for the first time. My songs were good enough to get me some meetings in Nashville, and I was meeting a guy named Roger Sovine, who was the head of BMI, Performance Rights Organization, and so he said, play me 3 songs. And keep in mind, this was 1985, and there weren't a lot of 18-year-olds playing country.
Right.
You know, it was like a young country act then was like my age now. You know, it'd be like, so no teenager. So he was amused at that, and I played him 3 songs, and he said, well, I'm gonna tell you about, I'm gonna tell you something. He said, you got about the worst thing in the world going on. He said, you have real good songs. He said, if your songs were terrible, I'd tell you to go back home and do something else. And if your songs were great, I'd get on the phone and get you a publishing deal. But your songs are just real good, and real good can make a man starve to death in this business. So what I want you to do, I want you to go home, and I want you to write me a great song. And I don't care if it takes you 6 months or it takes you 6 years. I believe you can do it. And so I went home, and I wasn't discouraged. I was 18. I was too stupid to know I should be discouraged. And I started trying to, listen real closly and what was going on in the song. So I wrote this song, and this song was so much better than anything I had written before. I was like, it was so good it scared me a little bit. I was like, okay, shit. I guess that's how I write now. And immediately this song, it was coming up on the Texas Sesquicentennial, and this became the official state song of the Alamo, and I got to meet Vice President Bush, and I got to meet then Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton, and it was just, this song just opened up a bunch of doors for me. And this song, more than anything else, got the Wagoneers a record deal. And this has been in a couple of 2 or 3 different movies, and Asleep at the Wheel has recorded this song. Anyway, enough of an introduction. It's called Stout and High, and it's about the Battle of the Alamo. They gave us all this land, promised a new start. Are we who tried and lost? Now they say they want it back, take it back they will. They said any count. Come on, Sandy Anna, give us your best try. Come on, Sandy Anna, these coming soon. Help is our only prayer. Come on, Sandy and love, give us your best try. Come on, Sandy and love, these walls are standing high. Someday don't burn fiery red, the way your cup they air. Look out, boys, here they come. The more we kill, the more there are, the closer that they get. The louder beats the drum. Come on, Sandy and love, give us your best try. Come on, Sandy and love, these walls are standing high. Fighting like the northern wall seems to have stopped. Did you see Travis Cole? God save Texas and my kids, have mercy on my soul. Great God, they're in the wall. Come on, Sandy and love, give us your best try. Come on, Sandy and love, these walls are standing high. These walls are standing high. I've just been amazed. Like I wrote that when I was 18. The legs of that song it's taken me all over the world. One time, a guy Clark came into town, and he was fixing to do a Jerry Jeff birthday party deal, I guess. And he asked me to come on down and to Paramount and say hey to him. And so I came in through the main doors. He was on stage doing sound check. And he saw me come in through the doors, and I was walking down the aisle towards the stage. And he stopped whatever he was doing, and he started singing Stout and High. Sound check. It was so cool. I wish you don't know to stop and record those things. You just, but anyway, so it was just real cool. One other story about that song. We were the Wagoneers were playing the Arkansas State Fair. That's it. It was just so great that happened. No. We were playing the Arkansas State Fair, and this is '88. And we get out. I don't even think it was a bus tour. I think we were still in a van. So we get out of the van, and we're just, we dress nice, always wear ties. And the promoter comes out and he goes, "Hey," and he recognized me. He came up to me and he goes, "Y'all ain't wearing what you're wearing in your picture." I'm like, I went, "No, sir, we have several stage outfits that we wear." He goes, "Well, we thought y'all were going to wear what you're wearing in your picture." I said, "No, sir. No, sir. Those clothes are dirty." I didn't know what to say. So we're fixing to go on, and the guy comes up and he goes, "Hey, we were headlining," which is, says more about the sad state of affairs of the Arkansas State Fair than our local stardom. And they said the governor wants to bring you on. Yeah. Okay, sure. And it was like, right before we were fixing to go on, Bill Clinton walked in the room, and it was like, I never met Elvis, but I'd never seen that much charisma on one guy. It was like, and he just looked us right in the eye and, "Hey, Monte, how's it going?" and he brought us on, and he was talking to the crowd, and really he was just like, these boys are on Nashville Network. Hillary and I watch them every time they're on Ralph, and and Bill Clinton may have watched the Ralph Emery show. I guarantee you, Hillary Clinton never saw the Ralph Emery show. And it was just like, so it's just, and then we played our set, and there were, we came off, and like our dressing room was like in a high school gym locker. Like we were just playing this big field out there, and there were all these state troopers, and Governor Clinton said, "You boys come and say bye before y'all gotta leave." And so we were going to have our picture made, and there were all these guards, and then like they parted. All these armed guards, these state troopers parted. They said, "Oh yeah, the governor wants to say hey to y'all." And we're like, "Oh, okay." I thought I'd have to go through a metal detector or something, or whatever. And so he was just standing right there, just shooting the bull. And we said hey, and we had our picture made with him. And I was talking to one of the guys, and I said, "That's a, because we live in Austin, and the governor of Texas doesn't have that type of detail, security detail." And they said, "Oh no, that's to keep the women away." I was like, wow! Even then! It was so matter of fact, like, duh!
That was Hillary's
Exactly. But anyway, and then I remember telling the guy that plays the drums for the Dangerous Few, Monte Palermo, I said, this guy had so much charisma. If he wasn't the governor of Arkansas, he could be president of the United States one day. No, really. And then I was like, so that's how much I knew. It's just like when you saw that much, just sheer, just presence, and he was so personal. He called me by my name, called the guitar player. I mean, it's just like he'd known us 100 years, and it wasn't like. And I noticed when people came up to see him, he never said "good to meet you." He said "good to see you." I just saw him. Well, that's such a.
In case you hadn't ever seen them before.
Yeah, right. Because if he said "nice to meet you" and you went, "Oh, actually we've met before," there's that awkward moment. He said "nice to see you."
Leave that open.
And like in 2000 during the recount, I went and did a thing at the governor's mansion, and Governor Bush was there, and I said, "Do I call you governor or president-elect?" He said, "I wish I knew." It was just like that. But when he was meeting people, he said, "Nice to see you, good to see you."
Yeah.
And I don't think he or Bill Clinton ever were taught that. I think they were just such natural
that's
political
standard
animals.
procedure.
They just knew it. Like they knew it like I know what to do on the stage. Those guys, like they weren't who they were on accident, I guess. Maybe though one's liberal, one's conservative, but they're both just gifted political animals.
They golf.
They know it, Anyway, and I'll go back to singing now. I'll do another brand new song. This is another one that Brandy and I wrote with Floyd Donovan, and it's called the Martini Song, and it's about martinis. There's a blend that's blown up, coast to coast for all the Romans, whose name epitomizes swank and class. Martini, served in its proper glass. Low, cold beer or high tide makes you feel like you're somebody, in quite the way the right martini can. So put the right martini in your hand. Shake, 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 martini. Also stir, martini. Make more martinis. The best bet for wet bikinis that attitude. Shake, 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 martini. Cause a stir, martini. Make more martinis. Forget my ties and mojito at the country club mosquito. Just what it is that whets their appetite. Martini, drink booze on a summer night. Shake, 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 martini. Cause a stir, martini. Make more martinis. Shake, 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 martini. Cause a stir, martini. Make more. Make more. Make more martinis.
That's gonna be perfect.
I know, it should be. I wish I had like 10 of those. But
Martinis?
no, actually, I've never had a martini, and I haven't had a drink in 12 years, so I'm not sure I'll ever have martinis. But I know that girls like to have martinis, because I married a girl that likes to have martinis. So it's important to know what girls like to have. So I base my whole life on that. So my whole adult life on trying to figure out what girls want and don't want. I still have no clue, but I feel like
You're out.
I know exactly. It's like it's so Here's what men want, women, and then we got to figure out what women want. I have no
You
idea.
don't have to figure out what all women want at this point.
Just one, and I still, after 18 years of blissful marriage, I have no fucking idea. I was like, well, that made you happy yesterday. Well, that was then, or you told me never to do that again. Why do you want me to do that? I don't. I'll do a tune. I wrote with my buddy Colin Boyd, brilliant writer in Dallas. I chased you off. Did I offend you? You were sitting right there, and I chased. What happened? Did I say something ugly?
No, I was just sitting close to my friend.
Okay.
Welcome back.
No, that's all right. No. You go back to the eye.
I wanted to crunch carrots. That's why.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I didn't know, because I'm one of those people. I'm so happy. I go through life so happy, and then I'll hear that I have offended someone. I have that innate gift for. I say the nicest things, and I leave people crying in my wake. And I go, what the fuck did I say? I didn't say anything. So I didn't know if I had,
Not
Anyway.
yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Still early. Still early.
You sure you don't want a martini? 12 years?
12 years. Nothing. Well, and it's not so much that I quit drinking. I realized at the age of 37, I had received my lifetime allotment of alcohol at that time. It was excessive. But I wanted to quit drinking. My wife wanted me to quit drinking. My family wanted me to quit drinking. And then I had all of these new friends at the Travis County District Attorney's Office that strongly urged me to quit drinking too. Maybe I'll give that a go. So, it wasn't so much the drinking, Mike, so much as it was I found that nothing washed down Vicodin and Soma quite like alcohol. It was one of those things, So I stopped. Wrote a lot of good songs about it. Oh well, there you go. I'll sing a song about a guy who didn't stop drinking. This is another tune that I wrote with Bruce Robinson, and we wrote this.
It's about towns.
No, it's about Hank Williams. Actually, it's not about Hank Williams. It's about Hank Williams' wife.
All right.
And we realized we were driving home from Nashville one night, and he and I had both basically been told separately to maybe not ever come back to Nashville. It had been a horrible trip for both of us, and we were both so discouraged. But we knew we were good writers, and we knew that we were right. Damn it! But we were talking about Hank Williams and how lucky we all were that he had this incredibly horrible person for a wife, and she was just mean and unfaithful and ugly to him, and made him miserable, and which gave us Your Cheating Heart and You Win Again, and I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, and I Can't Help It If I'm Still in Love with You. And we were talking about there were all these songs about Hank Williams, but no one had written a song about his wife, Audrey. And so we wrote this song in tribute to Audrey Williams, and Bruce's wife, now wife, not then, but Kelly Willis has recorded this song, and the Giesenslaw brothers have recorded this song, and the Wagoneers just now started doing it. So this is our tribute to Audrey Williams. And Hank called her Miss Audrey. That was his name for her. Well, that was one of his names for her. That was the name we went with for the song. I want to thank you, Miss Audrey, for breaking Hank's heart. Every time a woman does me wrong, I long to hear the sadness in his song. He knows that my world's been torn apart. I want to thank you, Miss Audrey, for breaking Hank's heart. There were times it seemed my only friend was the bottom and you win again. So many nights I don't know what I'd do without your cheating heart and lovesick blues. They are all I had to see me through. Every time a woman does me wrong, I long to hear the sadness in his song. He knows that my world's been torn apart. I want to thank you, Miss Audrey, for breaking Hank's heart. Sometimes it takes the darkness of the night before a man can know he's seen the light. He shines the light that broken hearts can see, and lift this world with songs that set us free. Wish they'd done for him what they have done for me. Every time a woman does me wrong, I long to hear the sadness in his song. He knows that my world's been torn apart. I want to thank you, Miss Audrey, for breaking Hank's heart. I want to thank you, Miss Audrey, for breaking Hank's heart. I want to thank you, Miss Audrey, for breaking Hank's heart. Thank you so much.
It sounds like Hank Williams.
A little bit. I know.
And he did the strip.
Ain't it that's a damn truth. I'm gonna tune my guitar right quick. With my phone. I know. Aha, there it was. Just takes one, folks. I'm gonna do another Dangerous Few song. And if there are any songs of mine y'all want to hear that I hadn't picked, you know, Chip, holler them out, and all that stuff. But
Look around.
Yes,
I
please.
could do that. I'm not gonna do it right now, but I'll do it. Casper does that song so great. Tell me what you see. Listen to the sound. Whenever you're with me. That's all this talking. That's a great song. He sings the shit out of that song too. My goodness. Well, you know, we wrote that song like, I don't know, like in '92 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then like I never picked it, and he of course never picked it. And he said like about a year ago, he said, I'm fixing to make a record, and he said, I'm gonna take a look around. He said, do you have a copy? You know, because he hadn't heard it in a long time. I said, man, I do somewhere, and I couldn't find it, but he found the copy, and I said, but man, I remember it being great. He said, I remember it being great too. Sure.
It's one of our favorite songs.
I love that song. You know, it's so funny when it taught me such a valuable lesson, because I was like 24 when I wrote it, or when Casper and I wrote it, and when I finally found a copy of it, it was in a shoebox of cassette tapes, which I still had a cassette player because, you know, so many of my songs are on those. But in this shoebox of like 50 cassette tapes, 10 of them had the label New Songs.
Mine all said live then.
Yeah, right. You know, just like, and then I was like, man, what a dumb kid. You know, after about 2 weeks, young Monte, that's his name.
He's relabeling new songs from 10 years ago to new songs from 11 years ago.
Well, I know, but what was that? You know, I know. But going through all that stuff, I found a couple of early Wagoneers rehearsals. You know, it's like, oh yeah, it's good. You know, I found a couple songs there. But this song, I was gonna do. This is a very pretty song. I wrote this song with my buddy Jeff Ranzel. And Jeff was one of Frank Sinatra's final band leaders. And when I had this concept for writing original crooner stuff, I called Jeff up in New York and I said, hey, I want to write some songs like that. And he said, man, when he worked for Frank would always come up and say, where are the new songs, man? Where are the new songs? And so even those guys were hoping for newer tunes, but Franzel said, man, I got this cool little bridge, but I don't have any verses or chorus to go with it. And so I said, well, I've got a couple of verses and a chorus with no bridge on it. So he and I, we wrote it back and forth on the phone, but I was headed up to New York and went over to his place and we finished it. And dang near before the thing was finished, I mean, just within a couple weeks, Toyota had picked this to be in a commercial. So I was kind of like, wow, okay. So, if this makes you want to run out and buy a car, mission accomplished. But it's called I Know a Heart That Will. You say you can't find a heart strong enough to show you how it feels. The one that wants to fall in love. I know a heart that will. You say there are no hearts left in this world that understand the thrill, beating for just I know a heart that will. Can't you see this heart is ready for whatever you want it to do? Laughing, crying, living or dying, completely surrender to you. You say no heart will ever break, hoping for something real. Wait, however long it takes. I know a heart, 'cause I own the heart. I know a heart. That song is so pretty. It's like when we finished it, he played on the piano, and it was so gorgeous. I'm gonna do another Dangerous Few tune, another one that Brandy and I wrote, and we were studying in writing songs for this concept. I've studied so many of those writers, like Sammy Cahn and what he did, and Johnny Mercer and what he did, and then there's this writer Terry Gilkison, Eliza Gilkison's dad. Y'all know Eliza Gilkison,
Right.
brilliant songwriter. And Terry, what he would, like his style, he wrote Memories Are Made of This for Dean Martin, and he wrote Bare Necessities for the Jungle Book, and just a brilliant writer. But he had very simple chord progressions, but he had very intricate lyrics, and so that was one of his calling cards. Was his lyrics were very urbane and suave and sophisticated, but the chord progressions were very simple. So we took that, Brandy and I took that, and we wrote this tune, and it's become our family motto. It's called Joy, where it's about finding the joy in just everything you can do in life. And our 12-year-old just started the 7th grade. You know, in that middle school, that's much different than he was in elementary school. So he came home a couple of weeks ago, first week of school, and he was very hangdog and discouraged about how just hard everything was, and he had just a terrible attitude about the whole thing. I said, "Well, son, it's like in the song that Mama and I wrote. That you got to find the joy in everything you do." And I was driving, and he was in the back seat. And he goes, "Well, Daddy, I think you've forgotten how hard the 7th grade can be." I said, "Maybe I have, son." So anyway, this song, like I said, the Dangerous Few do it. It's called Joy. You gotta find the joy in everything you do. Try to avoid the darker avenues you must employ. The light inside of you, boy, you gotta find the joy. I don't mean to imply that this is easy. I recognize the heavy task at hand. That said, don't make it harder than it need be. There's just one simple thing to understand. You gotta find the joy in everything you do. Try to avoid the darker avenues you must employ. The light inside of you, boy, you gotta find the joy. afraid to take another step. Don't look inside and draw the curtains. Let go of no and just embrace the yes. You gotta find the joy in everything you do. Try to avoid the darker avenues you must employ. The light inside of you, oh, you gotta find the joy in everything you do. Try to avoid the darker avenues you must employ. The light inside of you, oh, you gotta find the joy. Oh, you gotta find the joy. Oh, you gotta find the joy. I don't know what to say next. I will try to do Take a Look Around. It's one of these. That's such a Casper song, and for writers like you, like sometimes I'll write a song with a buddy of mine, and it'll be, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with how much you write of it. The song's just whether it's how you express it. Anyway, Casper does such a great version of it. I'll do it.
It's the original.
Well, no, I mean Casper too. I mean he came over and we wrote that in this little side room of my old house, and it's just, you know, and it's so weird. He and I have written together twice. We've written two great songs. That makes no professional business sense at all. You know, like Jim Lauderdale and I. This is another songwriter named Jim Lauderdale. We've written one song together, and it's been recorded like 6 times. We should be writing together every week. You know, we written once together 25 years ago. Anyway, take a look around my heart. Tell me what you see. Listen to the sound of my heart. Whenever you're with me, live for loving you. That's all this heart can do. Take a look around my heart. Tell me what you see. This heart's been tattered, right? This heart's been used. Now all that matters, this heart's in love with you. Take a look around my heart. Tell me what you see. Listen to the sound of my heart. Whenever you're with me, I live for loving you. That's all this heart can do. Take a look around my heart. Tell me what you see. Take a look around my heart. Tell me what you see. Take a look around my heart. Tell me what you see. When Casper cut it, he recorded it, and I said, "Did you do the Buddy Holly ending?" He went, "No, we didn't." But the way he did it, well, because he's got that like. I mean, when he came over to the house, he had that lick already. He went, "What a I can't play it." It sounded so fucking catchy. I just went, "You're so catchy, Mr. Potty Mouth." And I just went, oh, and then I said those words just came out. Take a look around. That, you know, that sound like what that lick was. It's so funny, you know. Like, I don't know what else it would have been, but anyway, I have cussed a lot tonight. I don't really feel like it's a gig. I feel like we're just, you know, shooting the shit. shooting the bull, I should say. Yeah. I'll do another Wagoneer song. I hadn't done a lot of Wagoneer songs now. Wagoneer's been the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life. Like I said, we started that band when I was 19. 6 months after our first, listen to this, 6 months after our first gig, I don't know if I've ever said this out loud before. 6 months after our first gig, we were signed to a major label.
That's it. That's
9
the
months
dream.
after our first gig, we were recording Austin City Limits, the TV show.
Oh.
It was just crazy, you know. I mean, and then like a year later, we're playing the Grand Ole Opry, and we're on a Bob Hope Christmas special, and you just go, what? We take Hee Haw, and it's like of all the things we did, you know, like we played in London, we played the Opry and network TV and stuff, but like my grandparents were most impressed that we did Hee Haw.
Well, maybe this is a
I remember.
Who else was on the episode?
Well, it's so funny you say that, because my grandmother, and I had the greatest grandmother in the whole world, and she loved everything I did, and you know, and I was raised by some not very nice people, but she and my grandfather were amazing folk, and I called her Mima. And she said, well, did you meet Roy Clark? And did you meet Buck Owens? And I said, well, no, Mima. Actually, we were just on a little sound stage, and they held up the corn stalks. And I said, we're from Austin, Texas, and Salut. And then we lip synced our song, and then we left. And she went, oh, well, bless your heart. And you know, so then, like, and 6 months later, it's on. And Roy Clark introduced us, and afterwards, Roy and Buck and everybody clapped, and she said, I thought you said you didn't meet him. I said, no, ma'am, I didn't. I think they did that like either a month before or a month after. And she never got, she thought the whole time I didn't want to admit
That's
that
hard.
I met Roy Clark. I said, well, no, ma'am, but I like this. But if you watch it, like if you, and I'm sure all of us here have the complete Hee Haw DVD set. The Wagoneers, I mean, really, it was seamless. It just looked, and here they are. And I never forget, because Roy Clark said, the Austin, Texas Sensations. And I went, well, that sounded so cool. Wagoneers. We did I Want to Know Her Again. And then all the whole Hee Haw gang clapped. But really, we were like, just the four of us standing, you know, like in space, like from here to here, and it was a lip sync, and we got one take, and it was all these union guys sitting around smoking. It was the most sterile thing in the world, and we were like, oh, we're gonna be on Hee Haw. Anyway, but so many neat deals that I got to do out
See
of
the
it.
wizard. You saw the wizard.
Yes.
You saw the wizard.
Right, I did, right, and I got to go to Japan with Bill Monroe, and and I did a. Am I talking too much? I'm telling you. So I'm doing this TV show, and Bill Monroe's on it, and he's on the couch of the talk show, the Ralph Emery show. He's on the couch. That's one I'm sure Bill and Hillary were watching that night.
Yeah.
I watched you with Bill Monroe. You were great. And I go to my time on the couch, and Monroe, you know, he scooches over like on a talk show deal, and his mandolin is going to be like right where I'm sitting, and I go, oh shit, you know, I'm not going to go to the road and move his mandolin, right? It's like 1923 Gibson mandolin, it's Bill Monroe's, and so he picks it up like this, and then right before I sit down, he sets it down again. And so then he smiled at me, and I answered some, you know, innocuous questions, and we were going to commercial, and he said, you know, he spoke like that. He said, you know, because of the way I was dressed and the way I was singing, he said, I wrote Elvis Presley's first song. And I said, oh, yes, sir, I do know that. And he said, okay, what was it? and I said, Blue Moon of Kentucky, Sun Records again.
Right.
I said, Blue Moon of Kentucky, and he goes, okay, Texas, you're okay. so then, and that's the only thing he ever called me. And so we were on a plane. We go to Japan, and it's the Wagoneers and Bill Monroe and Marty Stewart and Hank Thompson and Wanda Jackson and Roger Miller. Roger Miller was the headliner. And but when we got to Japan, they were it's like a superstar welcome for Bill Monroe. He was like, like he should have been the hero. Not that Roger Miller shouldn't have been, of course. He was incredible. And so, I wore suits. We wore suits wherever we went. And, I always perform in a tie, except for, sorry folks. And so Mr. Monroe, and if ever there was a guy called Mr. Monroe and not Bill, it was this guy. So he was always in a suit, and so we were having lunch together, and it was like our one day off, and some of his band was called Bluegrass Boys, and some of the Bluegrass Boys came down to go sightsee, and they were just in jeans and a t-shirt, and they looked nice, but they were like guys on their day off. And he goes, Texas, look at that, look at how they're dressed. That is no way for a Bluegrass Boy to dress. No sir, no sir, because that reflects on Bill Monroe. And he said that in third person. So anyway, so I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, how do you get your boys to dress proper? And I said, well, I didn't want to say, well, it's a band, and I don't really tell them what to do, and this is all weird, So anyway, so I just let it go. And then like the next morning, my phone rings. And when you're on the road, you always have your antenna up that somebody's fucking with you. Just you're getting fucked with. You're being punked, And he goes, morning, Texas, this is Mr. Monroe. And Bill Monroe had never called me before. So immediately I think somebody in Roger Miller's band fucking with me. So I go,
that's the bluegrass player Bill would never call.
Right, and so I go, yes, sir. He goes, are you going to have breakfast? And I said, yes, sir, I'll be down in 10 minutes. Oh, fine. So I hung up, and I thought, all right, that way I can just kind of walk into the restaurant. And if it's Miller's band or Monroe in there, so I'm not like I fell for anything. But, so I get dressed, I have my tie on, so I go down, and Monroe's right there, and he waves me over.
Is that Dean Blossom, Indiana?
And so I come in, and I have our bass player with us, and he goes, and I didn't know if it was cool that do you bring a friend to breakfast with Bill Monroe? And he goes, if you want your music friend to join us, he may. So I waved my music friend over, and Monroe, I can't believe I'm telling this story. So Monroe, we were having eggs and bacon, and it was just it was an American breakfast that they had laid out. And we were eating, and he was asking me, people that I knew in Texas, and he goes, do you know Bill Jones? No, sir. And he said, do you know some friend of his? Sam Smith? I believe he passed in 63. And I said, well, no, sir. I was born in 67. And he goes, oh, so you probably never met him. So it was a very funny man. So then, like, breakfast was kind of wrapping up, and he was eating. He goes, these eggs are special, ain't they, Texas? And they were just, they were just scrambled eggs. But his Bill Monroe said, oh, yes, sir. And then he looked at me and he goes, he's about the best thing I ever ate with my hat on. Oh my God, Bill Monroe just found pussy. I cannot believe it. So I'm just trying, and he was just very satisfied with himself. So we're going back to the hotel, going back to the elevator, and I'm talking to our bass player, Brad Fordham, and I went, did we just hear Bill Monroe talk about eating pussy? I'm pretty sure we did. Can we ever tell anybody that? And he goes, and he's from Canada, he goes, I'm telling everybody. So the next time you're here's that going on. So anyway, I'm going to do this song, Wagoneers song, and the Wagoneers have recorded this on our upcoming record. We've recorded the third record, We recorded our first record in '88, and our second record in '89, and our third record just a little while ago, because clearly the third record wasn't something we wanted to rush into. So, but I wrote this with my buddy Colin Boyd, and also Carrie Underwood has recorded this song, but she did it brilliant.
Right.
She did it much differently than the Wags do. But anyway, it's called It Hurts Too Much. My love was true right from the start. I fell for you, and I gave my heart. You took my love, tossed away. I gave enough to start today. You won't harm my dreams, you won't bleed anything. I'll be the one I was before. I'm moving on and closing the door. It hurts too much to love you anymore. Been wasting time since you've been gone. Spent my nights crying over what went wrong. But through every tear I found somehow you'd come back here. But that's over now. You won't harm my dreams, you won't feel anything. I'll be the one I was before. I'm moving on and closing the door. It hurts too much to love you anymore. No, you won't harm my dreams, you won't bleed anything. I'll be the one I was before. I'm moving on and closing the door. It hurts too much to love you anymore. It hurts too much to love you anymore. It hurts too much to love you anymore. One more song. What should I do? Let's see. That's a great thing about a set list. You go, oh, do this, and do that, and then the song. It's great. It's much more loosey goosey, but then you kind of get stuck in this. What the heck should I do? I'm gonna do another Dangerous View song. I wrote this song with my friends Bill and Ruth Carter. You know, Bill Carter wrote Crossfire for Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Ruth. And he and Ruth wrote Why Get Up for the Thunderbirds. Anyway,
Yeah.
Dangerous Few and I do this tune.
Great story.
Oh, great stuff. It's called You Make Love Easy. Now, Bill and I both are huge Jimmy Webb and Burt Bacharach fans, so we try to go with that, and Ruth lyrically saved us. So the Dangerous Few do a real good version of this. And thank y'all so much. This has been awesome. I looked down and I talked a lot, but I had a ball doing it, so, there you go. Anyway, here we go. Make love easy. I wake up in heaven every day. This true feeling never leaves me. You make love easy. I never knew the way love should go, but I've learned from you all I needed to know, and it grows and grows. Make love easy. I wake up in heaven every day. It's true. Feeling never leaves me. You make love easy. I always dream of somebody who could make me believe in love tender and true. That someone is you. Make love easy. I wake up in heaven every day. This true feeling never leaves me. You make love easy. You make love easy.
Oh,
Awesome.
always our pleasure.
Fantastic.
All right.
That's all the songs I
Today.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was looking at I got a set list from my very first band. It was a rockabilly band, and we had a 1 hour set